Hi guys, so today I'm in my makeup room surrounded by very dirty makeup brushes, as you can see, with different eyeshadow colors used on them. And I'm gonna be showing you a very easy and quick tutorial on how to go from this dirty brush into a clean brush in exactly 2 seconds, and with no water, no soap, no drying time, in order that you can use your brush instantly. So there are two products from Sephora that I normally use that I love so much for cleaning my eyeshadow brushes. The first one is the Sephora, forget its name, it's called the Sephora what? The Sephora Daily Brush Cleaner, this one right here. So I know I have two of them. I have this one and I have one which I bought which is not yet opened because I like it so much. I always have a backup product of this one. I like this one more than this one. So let me get into this one. So this one is the Sephora Color Switch by Vera Mona. The camera is picking that up clearly. So this one is basically a sponge. Let me open up that for you. So it looks like that inside. It's just a piece of sponge. You're supposed to swirl your brush around it the same way you do with a tissue paper, but instead you're gonna use this sponge. You just rub or drag your brush around it in round circles, and then your brush will be clean. But I don't like this one as much as I like this one, and I'm going to be doing a demo using both this one and this one to show you how efficient they are at removing your eyeshadow very fast. The sponge can be used on either side and can be washed. Discontinue use of the product if irritation occurs on the eyes or the skin. So it's just normally a sponge. If you remove it inside, it's just a piece of a clean metal and a piece of sponge. So I've used mine for quite some time. Let me show you. That's how it looks like. So I've never ever washed mine because I don't use it that often as much as I use this one. So it looks like this, just a piece of sponge. You're supposed to just wash it and use it every time you wanna switch from one shade of eyeshadow to the next shade of eyeshadow. So let's begin with this one. I show you how I use it. This is a brush which is clean, doesn't have any product on it. Okay, then we dip into the eyeshadow. This is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny eyeshadow palette. Let me use this pigmented blue color here. So for example, using this color, okay, and maybe you decide you didn't want this one, you wanted that one. So there you have the color on the brush. So even if you try to remove it using a towel, let me show you. Here we are removing it with a towel. Some of it will still remain, you see. No matter how much hard you try, some of the blue color will still remain on the brush. Now compare this with now using the Vera Mona color switch. Let me take a brush which is clean, say this one from Sigma. Okay, let's now go into this. Let's just use the same shade for the sake of the comparison. So assume you're using this shade. Okay, you dip into it. Let me make sure it's very fully covered on the brush. There we have the eyeshadow on the brush. So supposing now you wanted to switch from this color, you said, oh, I didn't want this color, I wanted this red color, and you want to switch. So just go into the Vera Mona color switch, just go around it, go round and round and round, and clearly you can see the difference between this brush which I used with the color switch and this brush which I used. Hope you can see this one is still kind of blue and this one is cleaned out. Or let me use a different shade. Say for example you wanted to use this red shade here called Fetish. So there it is in the brush. Let me try cleaning up with a tissue. You see, no matter how hard I try, some of it will still remain on the brush. However, if we use the Vera Mona color switch, see what will happen. As you can see, the color is transferring onto the sponge. And voila, there you can see the difference between how it was looking like before and how it's looking like now. And because my sponge is dirty, so that's why you can see it's not removing all of it. But if it was clean, I guarantee you this brush will go back into being black. But you can see the difference. So there's the brush, that's how it's looking like. And if it sets it out on a white surface, nothing is coming out. There's no color at all. The second step is by using the Sephora Daily Brush Cleanser. And I'm going to quickly read the instructions here for you. If they say it's a daily brush cleanser, it's a quick drying, water and alcohol free brush cleanser made with a sandalwood, blah blah blah. It's perfect for sensitive skin. Now let's go to the important part, the instructions. You're supposed to spray the cleanser onto a dry towel or a cloth. And it's very clear. You're not supposed to spray the product on the brush itself. You're supposed to spray the product on the towel and then you swirl it around. And then they say very clearly there that you gently guys, you gently rub the brush head over the cloth until the surface oil and the dirt are removed. For natural hair brushes, sweep the brush head in a back and forth motion like this. And then for synthetic fiber brushes, use a circular motion. So we're gonna be trying on a synthetic brush and on a natural hair brush. So let me just go right ahead into the demo. For shades which are dark like this, don't expect it to become completely white when you use a brush cleanser. Some of that red color will still remain. So we're gonna use this as an example, this one, and let me use like this one from MAC or from Sigma. So these two, natural hair versus synthetic. So I have my towel here. Let me lay out my towel. I'm using a white towel so that I can demo for you how it works. But for your own purposes at home, you can use a dark towel because of the cleaning. Although white towel is good because you can easily soak it in a jig or any bleach to remove the colors. So here I have laid out my brush cleanser, my two brushes that I'll be using. So let me start with which one? Let's start with this one. So we're going to spray this. We're going to spray it on the towel itself. Then we're going to swirl our brush in round circles over it. So here is the brush cleanser. Just going to spray it. Just a little bit. Here's our brush. You're just supposed to go round in circles. As you can see, some of that color is already coming out. And then you can see now, if you try it on a clean surface, your brush is clean, guys. It's clean. There's no color left at all. So now, for example, you try to use these two brushes. I don't have a brush with a different color like black, so we're just gonna use what I have. I have these two colors. Again, same process. You just take your brush cleanser and you spray it on the towel. Remember not to spray it on the brush directly. You're supposed to spray it on the towel. Don't ask me why. It's just what the instructions say, and I'm just gonna follow that. So I'm gonna just spray a bit of it on the towel. Now I'm pressing it horizontally. Let me just place it vertically so it becomes easier to spray it. Just spray. There we go. Take your brush again and you swirl it around in circles on that spot. There. Let me just zoom you in a bit more so you can see. There we go. In some cases, if the color you're using is not very pigmented, the brush can turn back into white. If you're using like a soft peachy color or a soft pink color most of it will come out and your brush will go back into being almost white. If I test it on a clean surface like this, the brush is completely clean, guys. Like, how cool is that? 2 seconds, your brush comes from this to this and is ready to use on the next shade, and it's completely dry. And let me show you on this towel. If the brush was wet, it would make some mark on the towel, some wet marks. That is how I clean my brushes very fast, using either the Vera Mona sponge, the color switch by Vera Mona, or if not that, I use the brush cleanser by Sephora. So there it is, very, very clearly zoomed in. Number 1 and number 2, the color switch or this one. So it's up to you what you decide what works best for you. They're both by Sephora and they're very, very nice and efficient.